Picture a 13-year-old girl standing next to a movie poster with her own face on it. The critics haven't seen a full career yet. They've seen one film, and already they're calling her the future of American acting. That's a lot of weight to put on a kid who hasn't even finished middle school. So what do you do when the whole world decides who you're going to be before you've had the chance to figure it out yourself? That girl was Diane Lane. In 1979, she starred in a film called A Little Romance, playing a teenager falling in love in Paris. She was 14. The performance was so good that Time magazine put her on the cover, right alongside the words "movie stars of the future." Not one to watch, the future. Actual legends were compared to her before she'd lived enough life to earn that comparison. Here's the thing about being called the future when you're still a kid. It means people expect the present to catch up, and in Hollywood, that almost never happens on schedule. Through the 1980s, Diane kept working, but the films didn't always land. Some flopped, some got lost. The industry that had crowned her at 13 started treating her like old news by her 20s, and that's a strange kind of aging to go through in public. Most people get to grow up quietly. She had to do it while critics compared every new role to a promise she made before she could vote. She didn't quit, she just kept taking parts, year after year, in movies that weren't always noticed. That's easy to skip over when you're telling someone's story fast, but staying in a business that had already decided your best moment happened when you were a teenager, that takes something most people never have to test in themselves. Then, in 2002, something shifted. Diane starred in Unfaithful, playing a wife whose affair spirals into consequences she never saw coming. She was 37 years old, and the performance earned her an Academy Award nomination for Best Actress. Almost 25 years after that Time cover, the future the magazine promised finally showed up, not because someone handed it to her, because she kept working long enough to be standing there when it arrived. The next year, she starred in Under the Tuscan Sun, and audiences fell for her all over again, this time as a grown woman rebuilding her life after a divorce. It's hard not to notice the echo. She was playing someone starting over. She was also living proof that starting over works. Her personal life had its own version of that same lesson. She married actor Christopher Lambert, had a daughter named Eleanor, and the marriage ended in divorce. Years later, she married actor Josh Brolin. That marriage ended too. Twice, she rebuilt a life that fell apart in public. Twice, she kept going without turning it into a headline. She's still working today, still showing up in films and television, decades past the moment a magazine tried to define her in one photo shoot. The girl on that cover didn't get to choose the label. The woman she became did something better. She outlasted it. So here's the image worth sitting with. A 14-year-old on a Time magazine cover, a promise nobody asked her if she wanted, and a 61-year-old woman, still on set, still choosing the work, on her own terms this time. What do you think it takes to survive being called the future before you've even had a childhood? Tell me in the comments. And if you love stories about the real people behind Hollywood legends, subscribe for more.